What are fairy gardens? A fairy garden is a decorative miniature garden usually grown in a container or other small space. They are magical gardens filled with small plants and accessories. Fairy garden supplies. There are many fairy garden supply options you can choose. Start with just a few plants, accessories, and figurines. Continue to add miniatures and accessories that you would like to include over time. Container or space to grow your fairy garden. We used a half wine barrel. You can find more options in Choose a Container below. Potting soil. Peat moss, optional. Small plants from your local nursery. We use 2 small bonsai trees, Corsican mint, Scotch moss, and mini blue isotoma. Gardening trowel. Fairies, gnomes, wizards, fairy houses, and other fairy garden accessories and miniatures. Stones, pebbles, glass gems, sea glass, wood slices, sand, moss, etc. Step-by-step fairy garden tutorial. Learn how to make a fairy garden by following this easy step-by-step fairy garden tutorial. The final picture in this step-by-step photo collage is of how our mini garden looked after it had been growing for 3 months. Step 1. Choose a container and location for your fairy garden. The type of miniature garden you create will depend on where you want to plant it. You can grow one inside or outside, the options are endless. Step 2. Pick plants and accessories for your fairy garden. Miniature gardens can be created as static gardens to imagine into, or they can be made to play with and enjoy. Choose plants and accessories that will work for the fairy garden that you would like to create. Our fairy garden is for my daughter to play with and enjoy. If you look closely you can see a bit of dirt on each of the fairies. My daughter loves to move them around and chit-chat with them as she plays. Step 3. Add soil to container or location of choice. Dirt is dead while soil is alive. Dark soil is rich with nutrients, while light dirt has nothing to give a plant to help it survive. Do not use soil from your garden if you will be planting your miniature garden in a container. Use an organic potting soil for best results. While potting soil has everything a plant needs to stay alive and grow into a healthy plant, not every plant likes the same type of soil. Make sure you ask the staff at your local nursery which potting soil is best for the plants that you purchase for your fairy garden. Step 4. Arrange fairy garden plants and accessories. Fill your container with potting soil and begin to envision the scene or scenes you will create. Arrange your plants and accessories on top of the soil to see how it looks before planting. This is your chance to play with the layout and how you will arrange your mini garden. You want to create at least one scene in your fairy garden. If you have a large space you can create several scenes. Think of them like rooms in your outdoor dollhouse. Step 5. Plant and mold fairy garden features. Add water to prepare the soil to plant. Dig small holes to place your plants in. Carefully place plants and cover the roots with soil. Mold and create the scene by building streams, ponds, walkways or paths in the soil as you plant. Step 3. Arranging the plants on the soil before you plant, is a key step in this process. Water plants again when you are finished planting. Step 6. Finish fairy garden features. Fill in the areas that you molded to be rivers, ponds, walkways, and paths. Any of the elements below can be added to finish these features. Stones, pebbles, glass gems, sea glass, wood slices, sand, moss. Step 7. Add fairy garden accessories and miniatures. Add in your fairies and any other miniatures or figurines. Start small to keep it simple at first.